Steve yesterday and Liam about, because he asked, he's like, oh, what are you doing tomorrow? And I said, I'm talking to Matt first thing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk to you about what it's like to live in a house that's just always filled with couch surfers. And just always.
For me, it's great, but it
Yeah.
absolutely has its ups and downs, which I've realised lately. You just constantly meet amazing people, and obviously the downside of that is you always see them leave. You never, I found lately, I don't have a staple group of friends. I'm short of Steve. Obviously Steve's great, I love having Steve around. But and then Liam, and that, it's really cool to have these people that I know across the world, especially when they come back. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, everyone leaves at some point, and it's very hard to stay in contact with 100+ people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. How many people do you think have stayed here total over the years? Like, how long have you been hosting couchsurfing people here? Because you've lived here since you were.
I've lived here 9 years now, but really hammering the traveling, hosting couchsurfing people probably 3.5 years. And it's been amazing. It's been the best 3 years. It's had absolutely ups and downs, but compared to when I just used to live with some friends that were really cool, close friends, just didn't share the same kind of mantra or lifestyle, and yeah, I've had absolutely more memorable moments in the last 3 years than I have, say, the previous 6 before.
Seriously, just in this house?
Yeah.
Alone?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense, because everyone comes here with sort of a mission or a purpose, and sure, you get some people who fly in and they stay for one night and then they take off, but then you get an equal number of people who, I guess like myself or Liam, who come here and stay for a more extended period of time.
And you get some wicked bonds with people, but that doesn't discredit the people. Like, I absolutely remember some people who were only here for 2 or 3 days, and they left a great impact.
Yeah,
but,
who were just lots of fun.
Yeah,
lots of fun to have around, and that's part of the, I guess, the spice of it, is just having the potential for people to stop by for only 1 or 2 nights, and you have to take advantage of, just show them the most of the house and the most of the area and the beach and stuff.
And there's always the couch. There's plenty of space. It's like, and a lot of people coming in from anywhere, they're happy to have just the floor. Yeah. They're like, wow, roof over my head. It's amazing. Yeah. So.
And this is the real deal when you walk in and you see
exactly
the couch. It's much better than at least I would expect for most couchsurfing places. I've only stayed at a couple other spots, and all of them you're always surprised. I expect just a corner,
so varied,
and it's usually like I rock up and it's a double bed. I'm like, oh,
exactly,
nice, my own room. What? Why are you guys Airbnb-ing this or something like that?
I know,
but it's
and I've thought about doing the Airbnb thing as well, but it's the expectation starts to go up then, and using the house, it's a bit more of a fun vibe, whereas Airbnb starts to push into business territory, I think, and I'd have to really maintain the room and keep a small amenity of supplies. Airbnb is perfect for a retired couple with a big 4x2 house who've got a couple of spare rooms and they're happy to absolutely dote on their guests.
Or someone who just owns extra space, right? But really, like, you're not going to get your own private space here at all, because it's all communal area. Even my own room is a communal area, which isn't a problem, but
you're happy with that.
Someone, like, this is my favorite room, as I've said.
Exactly, yeah.
But people would come in and be, hey, why does my room not have a lock on it? Dude, what's going on here? And you're like, it was advertised that way, what are you talking about? But there would probably still be some miscommunication when someone...
And I've seen Airbnb around, especially my areas, there's a lot of houses on offer for almost bugger all in the terms of short stay accommodation, like $40-50 a night for your own sort of half end of the house.
Yeah.
But I can't provide
to compete with that'd be crazy. Yeah. Especially if someone chose you, and why did you choose me? Yeah. Clearly you've made an error.
So it's absolutely working much better the way this is how it is. We can all split costs and everything. It's cheaper for everyone in the end. And did I tell you before, with the next door house, I wanted to, when that was for sale a year and a bit ago, put a lowball offer in to try and buy that, tear the fence down, and essentially run this across 2 properties.
Whoa, so that would be really cool.
It'd have sort of a little community of 8 bedrooms then, and you could almost live 6 to 10 people going.
Start our own commune.
It would sort of get that way, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Stretch of farmland.
And instead of buying a lamb, you could actually buy a whole cow and
then raise it from the time it's young, and then get attached and not actually kill it. Just wait till it dies of old age.
Just never name it. That's the trick.
Never name it. Just cow. Cow number 1 would be a good name for it. That was why did you not end up shooting? Did the price go up too high?
I just don't have $450,000 to be able to jump in the property market.
It's tough to be able to get in there. No, so did it sell immediately after it went up? Because the people who live, that one right there, it's just across from the road.
Love the Indian family.
Yeah, they're just like 100 people over there. It's awesome.
It's family of 4, isn't it? I think.
Really? I always hear like every Saturday or Sunday, it's always like grandpa, and then you were flying the drone one day. He's just eyeballing your drone.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, no, it's just the drone. And he's like, oh, okay, he smiles. And they're always walking up and down. I always pass them on my bike. It's a good spot for them, for sure. But it'd be really cool to be able to enact that.
I know. But that would be, I did the maths on that, and that would be a $450,000 mortgage. I'd be stumping out $600-700 a week just to cover the mortgage on that.
Oh.
Because of Australia's wonderful tax laws and negative gearing, it's just you're not going to cover that, essentially. You have to chip in money on yourself.
You would have to have a real stable job to be able to
which I do not.
Make that work, right? Well, a few people do right now here, especially like even Dave or Steve are people who do have reliable jobs. Dave was saying how it's been weird for him. He rocks up some days and he just
has a couple of things to do, and then
nothing to do, right? I was lucky enough for the Dave guy that Liam was working with to be going on vacation, so I could scoop up this for a little while and then make some money and go back and then play it by ear again. But it's tough, especially for people coming in and out. Like Liam's lucky enough to have a wide array of skills that he can just sort of apply anywhere.
Very handy for that way,
But most people they come in and they don't really have.
But you guys are pretty lucky too with that job that you both have. That you can rock in and you get shitloads of hours and you can
tons of hours, man. I'm not sure how it's legal, to be honest.
Oh really?
Like you're not supposed to be able to work over 30 hours on my visa, but I think they avoid it by putting you in as casual.
Holiday visa, yeah.
Yeah.
You can absolutely work as much as you want.
They said like maximum 35 hours that I should be allowed to work, but
tourist visa.
That's like a full-time job. So I'm under casual. So like casual hours, you have 50 plus hours a week. I'm like, yes, please, more.
They're not going to care about that. Working holiday visa is you can work as much as you want. If you had a study visa, that's 20 hours a week, 40 hours a fortnight is their limitation.
Yeah, their maximum. And then most people just avoid that by being a contractor for something.
Yeah.
So it'll just be their own business.
Josh is exactly doing his it's paid per sale, so there's no real limit to.
Yeah, no, it's handy to be able to get
2 hours, or he could work 40 hours.
That's different. That's the only option for work, it seems. When when you walk around and you ask people, small businesses at least, hey, can I grab a job?
Yeah.
And they, oh, sorry, if you're on a visa, we don't.
It's too much hassle for you. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, come on, man. But for these contract places, I guess it's no extra to just hire a contractor.
Exactly.
And then check your visa stuff and make sure it's cool, because that's.
What you're contracting, the visa is irrelevant.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that works even better for them then. Do you find most people when they come in here, I'm guessing you've had your fair share of people come in and be looking for jobs?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's the issue usually with that?
9 times out of 10, I send them to Greenwood, because they're always looking for people.
Really? That's pretty cool.
It's across the road, it's a bar. Most people have some bar experience. You've got to be a real drop kick to not be able to pour a beer.
Yeah.
But
some people out there might not be able to do that. So
yeah. Oh look,
it's tough.
I've never worked in a bar, but I could pour a beer.
No, I think most people would find that reasonable.
Yeah.
If not, like you don't have anything else to do, right? You might as well apply. It's so close. It's like a 3-minute walk away.
And then short of that, you've got the 2 shopping centres that are also. I always, with jobs, go for proximity if you just want a short-term job, because.
At least apply.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on.
Everyone seems to jump on the train, head into the city, and then hand out CVs at Woolworths and shops in the city. It's like all those shops are also in Warwick.
Yeah, that's where everyone else is applying as well. Everyone else does the same thing. Jumps on the train and goes in.
Exactly.
They get probably 1,000 applications a month, and they have to sift through all those. So who's the best? And at the end of the day, it's just some random person, not necessarily going to be you, even if you do have the qualification.
3 or 4 months, and then that's all they need is a helping hand for that time, and then they're off. That's the nature of travel.
No, exactly. I wanted to, because yesterday I was talking with Liam and Steve said that how long has he been doing the Couchsurfing house? And sort of the same thing. So what like, in case people don't know what your house is, it's sort of a combination between people who come. Me, I'm staying for a long term, I pay rent, and then obviously we have a big old couch over here, and couchsurfers, they surf in
and
live on the couch for a little while.
Yeah, the couchsurfing rules I have are generally if you're just coming in and asking for a request, I'll mostly say yes 9 times out of 10 if you're looking for like 3 or 4 days. Most people come for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
The odd time you get someone that's like, oh, can I stay for a week? If you're coming internationally, I'll be like, sure, you can, but bring us some bottles of duty-free booze.
Yeah.
It's pretty minimal cost for them, like it's $25 for a litre of gin or vodka or something.
Yeah. Compared
to if we bought that same thing here, it's $60-65.
Mm.
So it's a saving for them. It's worth more to me than it is for accommodation. So yeah, sure, you can stay a little bit longer if you chip in some booze and help out with the house. Absolutely fine. But yeah, and then some people love it here, and they go, sweet house, actually looking for a job, can I live here a bit longer? It's like, absolutely, we'll chuck you in a room and you can be part of the house and help contribute with the rest of it. Yeah. And it's still always far cheaper than a hostel where you're sharing a 4 or 6 bed dorm. Yeah. And it's more fun, I think. Definitely. If I was going to live in another country, I'd definitely sort out a share house situation, even if it's only for a month.
Yeah. I think I might just live like this always. Yeah. To be fair, like it's so much cheaper than renting in like either a student home or this would be my 2 options until I'm, I don't know, like 35. If I'm still traveling by then and moving around, like having my own like my own home, like owning your own home is just so out of reach right now. Exactly. Unless I land this sweet job.
It's such a huge
somewhere in Silicon Valley. If you need anyone, I'm here for you. Yeah, but until then, like no one has the money to be able to move out on their own when they're anywhere lower than 40.
All the friends I have that have jumped on the mortgage train have also fallen off the face of the earth.
They're just sunk.
It's like, I'll come around for a barbecue and can't afford to either put the kid in babysitting or just too hard. Can't afford to leave the front door. Yeah. We're stuck in our house.
Yeah,
all we do is commute from work to home and maybe the gym or something.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to be spending to be miserable for many years.
And my mantra is, at the end of the day, you can buy a house or something, but you're really only renting. You might only rent for 80 years because at some point you have to die and then you don't own it.
It's kind of required that you do end up checking that off the list eventually. If you don't, again, call me because I'm very interested in living forever.
Me too. Hey, it might come around in our lifetimes. I think it probably will come around sooner, just in time to help the generation that destroyed the earth live longer and keep doing it.
Those mother. They're too much, man. They're too much. No, that's a tough call, especially since when you come into sort of a new area, you don't know. Like I didn't know the prices. I knew it was expensive here, and I've been here before in Australia, and I didn't really like 120 a week. That's pretty reasonable for given like what you could get anywhere else. Yeah. Like how do you and Steve how did you guys figure that out originally with the $120?
I work out what I'm paying for the whole house, add in all the bills, average it out because the bills can vary a little bit. Yeah. And like some people will go and just even out the cost of rent and then try and split bills, but if you're kind of transient, bills come in every 2 months, so someone might not be here for the duration of a whole bill. Yeah. So I just worked. It's easier to work out the average of what they all are, and split that down, and that breaks down to 120 each.
That works.
Easy, divvy it up.
That's super easy.
And it's if there's another person, I've worked out it adds on about $30 in extra electricity and water and whatnot a week. Yeah. So put that up by $30, but then divvy the whole cost across everyone. So if you were to get an extra one in, it would be $100 each.
Yeah, it's easy then.
Yeah.
Well, there's only we're at pretty much close to max capacity, unless someone wants to share my room with me.
Exactly.
And share that, like, unless we get real stingy with the bed situation, then that would be. This is it right here is the most comfortable, I'd say, number. Would you say? Have you had like any more people than this living here?
I've had 2 couples sharing a room. So
oh my god!
I don't do it by room cost. I do it by person.
I see.
An extra person's extra electricity and water.
Oh yeah, you're still using a ton of extra stuff, let alone.
So like if we had a couple here, they might go, well, I'm paying $200 for the room. So no, $100 per person.
Yeah, you're paying for the costs of living here, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, because just 2 extra people, it adds in whole extra personality. Maybe they don't want to do this, maybe they don't want to do that. We're gonna go out one night and the house would have nothing going on, and then they stay home on TV, and mostly that's me. Like sometimes when everyone goes out,
nothing wrong.
I stay home, hang out, and everyone's just usually doing their own thing. doing whatever. Like tonight, a bunch of people are going to be over. Obviously, we're going to be using a little bit more electricity, but that's fine, right? If you've already taken care of it and moved through it, knocked everything off the list.
There's no point trying to bicker about small costs that are too hard to work out. And I've realised that extends right out to food to some point. It's been easier just to do a big food shop, so everyone has milk, everyone has bacon, everyone has at least the staples that generally everyone eats.
Yeah.
And you all just split that cost and eat whatever you want. If we run out of something quickly, that means that everyone's enjoying it, so let's just buy a little bit extra. And, so, and in the morning, like, sure, milk costs $3 for 3 litres, but at 7:30 in the morning when you're trying to get ready for work, I would pay $15 to have that milk there. It's not there for my coffee because there's no coffee and there's no milk. So.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's just an ease thing, an ease of use. Because usually there's been very few times where I've been wandering around and I've been looking for something. Like, where's the stuff? Like, either it's mine or I know it should be in the house. Like, we've ran out of toilet paper maybe once.
Exactly.
And that rarely happens. And usually there's always beer in the fridge. There's always stuff in, like, there's always things to eat. If I run out of my canned food.
Canned food under the cupboard. I do. It's like, rummage through here. Oh, cool. Well, this came back from Blazing, or there's stuff left here. And
yeah. Do you think you could run like this place any better? Do you think it could be better than it is now? Because as someone coming in, like, I'm guessing you see a lot people rock in, and I've said rock up maybe 100 times so far during our talk, but it's my new favorite phrase. But when people come in here, I'm guessing most of them, like myself, are just like, wow, this is a cool lifestyle. Let's get in on this. Do you think you could?
To suggestions is when someone's like, hey, I see how you're doing this, but it'd be better to run it like that. And I've tried so many different ways, and the biggest one is splitting costs. That's just
split-wise.
Just honestly, just split everything. I've even said, like, my old housemate Rachel, she would always get like, oh, I didn't buy this, so can you take $1.60 off here? And
switch
like,
it around.
yeah, okay, fine, whatever. And then it's like, I would rather pay the $1.60 than to sit and have this conversation, disputing about $1.60.
Yeah, it's just tough. I'd rather just pay. Like, just the headache is too much.
Exactly.
It's like, just don't worry about it, man.
And
it's $1.60.
Yeah, and you end up getting situations where, like, I'd rather someone go to the shops and go like, cool, I'm gonna go and do a big food shop for the house because I know that I can just split the cost with everyone, and I'm not gonna get stuck shafted with the whole bill. Yeah. As opposed to, like, Steve doesn't really do that. So when someone goes to the shop, they'll get stuff just for them. Yeah. And then no one ends up getting toilet paper or dishwashing liquid. And he's always forever running out of toilet paper.
Yeah, no, exactly, because no one really remembers to get those things.
Or they just think it's not their responsibility.
Which is also an issue. I know whenever I go to the store, and I usually just ask whoever I'm with, do we need anything? Exactly. And then I'll grab it. But if not, I'm getting my ice cream and my canned food. Exactly. So get away from my ice cream, because that's like, it just depends on, like, usually you can see, like, Becky eats the exact same thing every night. She has her little fruit bowl, and, like, I know exactly which fruit in the freezer is her fruit that goes in the fruit bowl. And same thing with the coffee, and, like, I know you guys have the coffee every morning. I know what Liam eats every morning. I've never seen you eat breakfast here, so I have no idea what you eat.
Sometimes have bacon eggs with Josh if I'm awake.
Okay, yeah, he makes pretty much the same big breakfast every weekend if he's here.
Yeah.
Where is he right now? Do you know? He's a mystery man.
He's at Tristan and someone's.
Oh, they had a night last night?
Usually comes home, I don't know why not.
Fair enough. He's missing. He's probably gonna run in 10 minutes in a big storm and then ruin my perfect audio. But
yeah, probably not.
We'll deal with him when the time comes. I wanted to get into sort of the story of, because obviously, like, I know what's happening right now in the house. I know, like, you guys seem to have it figured out. Like, what was it like originally? Like, did you and Steve know each other? Because you're the only two Couchsurfer, like, friends I've ever known who sort of do. You don't really do it together, but you kind of do, because the houses are, like, in tandem. It's like a brother-sister house.
Yeah, we do the same thing. It's down the road from each other. Yeah. And we're also really good friends. Mm-hmm. I actually met Steve on the road trip through America. We both have a mutual friend, Missy. Mm-hmm. And she decided to do a road trip. Well, I think she originally decided just to buy a motorcycle in America because the price, the Australian dollar, was doing so well. It was actually almost 10 grand cheaper to buy it over there and ship it across. What? So she was like, hell yeah, I'm going to get myself a Harley Davidson and bring it back and save a whole chunk of money. Yeah. And I don't know how, maybe she posted it on Facebook and kind of went, hey, that sounds like a cool idea. And then I looked into it and I was like, well, yeah, I want to come over and we'll do like a little road trip. We'll do a couple of weeks and ride the bikes around America and then ship them back. And then it just kind of met up a couple of times and it turned into, we'll do like 3 months. We'll just ride around the entire country.
Wow. So what was it originally? That it was supposed to be a couple weeks maybe, or a month?
It just kept growing, yeah. Each time we'd meet up, it was like, oh, and then, whoa, we have to see this and this and this. And then it was like, okay, now we're going to need like 3.5 months, 4 months. And so, yeah, I started the application. Oh, also, Steve, I guess, seen the same post that Missy put on Facebook, and then he...
Like a newspaper classified ad.
Almost, yeah.
Like, oh, wow.
All the three of us all went to school together, but I heard of Steve, but I was never spoke to him at school.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd left in year 10, so we sort of missed each other there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there when we were all sort of discussing travel plans for America.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of crunch time, Missy flew out first, I think, and oh no, me and Missy flew together.
Okay.
And landed in LA and hung out with my uncle for a couple of weeks, and Steve flew in later, like a week later or something, and then flew up to Idaho to pick up his bike.
The same one he rides now?
No.
Different one, okay.
Yeah,
so you guys all have different bikes.
We all
in
bought
the
Harley
States.
Davidsons in the
Okay.
States, yeah.
Cool.
And then Missy took off first, and he stayed in Idaho and waited for me to ride up the California coast and then meet him. And then from then on, we sort of just travelled really well, pretty much from the first day. Like, we shared the same hotel room, and then it just, yeah, we both had the same kind of travel idea, and Missy wanted to hit the highways a lot more, whereas me and Steve tended to, get mixed up in each new town we went. We just met some awesome people, and then we ended up getting kidnapped, and then basically held for drinks and parties, and Missy's trying to move on to America, and we're just dragging our asses because we go next town, we need to catch up to Missy, and then we'd hit the road and then go, oh, we'll just pull in here for lunch. We've ridden for like an hour and a half.
Stay there for 4 hours.
Missy's doing like 3, 4, 5 hours a day, and then we'd stop for lunch, and then these people are like, oh, you're from Australia, cool, have some drinks, and then lunchtime drinking, and alright, no more riding, we'll stay here, and we're just making no distance, but it was just so much fun.
Yeah, you guys never really have a problem with time.
Yeah.
Like you guys don't really, like you value the time spent doing enjoyable things rather than like moving to something that should be enjoyable.
Exactly.
Like, this is pretty good right now.
Schedule. Yeah.
Let's do it, man. Like, let's just stay here and do that.
Yeah.
So then, like, I've heard her, because when she was over here, she talked about it. She's like, I was trying to just see the U.S. and you guys are just stomping off every which way.
Yeah,
just taking it easy. Like, she views it as sort of this, like maddening time.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's when you guys really got to know each other.
Absolutely.
You and Steve, because you guys travel much better together than you would, I'm guessing, with her, just because, like, those personalities don't always mix. Like, I feel like I'm a good mix, but again, I'm one of those people who's like, okay, we're done here next, we're done here next, we're done next, and like I just want to move through it, and that's like part of the process. That's how I like to do it. Even so, I would have been the Missy in that situation, and then I have friends who would have been you and Steve, and just doing the whole thing. And I'd be like, guys, what are we doing? Come on, catch up. We gotta go.
So the perfect thing was mornings. There were times when the three of us were together, which was a bit of a mess. There were times when it was just me and Steve. That was probably
it's a good time.
Big chunk of the trip too. And then there were a couple of times when it was me and Missy too, and it was very different travelling styles. With Missy it was like we're often up at 8 o'clock in the morning, smash out the hotel breakfast, and then hit the road and maybe see a couple of landmarks and pull out 4 or 5 hours of travelling, and then we've crossed 3 states.
Yeah.
Wow, we're making so much time.
Yeah.
With Steve it was we'd have a wicked night out hitting all the pubs and meeting people, and then we'd sleep right through the hotel breakfast and wake up at lunchtime, or basically check out usually. Banging on the door, go, we need to clean the room.
Leave me alone.
And then we'll roll out to some place for lunch, breakfast, get some bacon, and sit there and scratch our eyes for a little bit, jump on the bikes and go, alright, we'll head to the next town, and then it's like 2 o'clock, and we'll just stop for a snack, and then just roped into more fun times with the people in the next town, just like making no distance but having a great time.
Yeah, no doubt. I can see that. It would be addictive once you start doing that, and once you stop in one town, you're like, these people are the best, and then You're like, maybe the people in the next town.
Yeah,
too. And
exactly.
then you stop there and you're like, oh, these people are pretty cool.
But at the same
maybe
time,
the
it's
next
like,
time, Missy's like, no!
Yeah.
They've been
Exactly.
captured. Yeah, you guys have been captured
And so,
by the culture.
With Missy, seeing so much of America. With Steve, lapping up the people, which was, it was cool to have both sides there.
Yeah, no.
If it was just me and Steve, we probably would have seen maybe 10 states.
How many did you guys end up seeing?
We ended up crossing 36.
That's crazy. What was the route for you guys? Like, what did you end up doing?
Basically, started in LA and then headed north. Well, we all had different routes, but roughly in the same clockwise direction of America. Starting from LA.
What time of year did you get there?
Summer. Can't ride bikes through snow.
Perfect. Well, no, that's the thing. Like most people, I've heard a few people talk about, they'll start in Vancouver in like July and go across Canada and then go down. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get messed up. Like at the end of July, like you're gonna get real cold real quick.
Yeah.
As soon as you cross, if you want to do the east of Canada, like you have to start. Like I would even say, like start in the U.S. and just like start in Eastern Canada in like the fall. And then get out of there, and then you're in Florida in the southern states for the winter.
Exactly.
Then there's no snow, it's still 80 degrees, and then you're cruising down there. Most people don't understand the difference. Like if they're coming from, I was talking to someone here at one of the parties, and they said they were going to go and do America, and they're like, oh, I'm going to start in Vancouver in August and go east. I'm like, dude, what the?
You'll die.
We're going to lose you.
Yeah.
I don't want this to happen.
So snowed in every day.
It's a little bit weird, but you guys made a good choice with that whole rotation, you think?
And that particular year, yeah, we chose clockwise simply because I bought my bike in LA and Steve bought his in Idaho, so that sort of picked the direction I had to head north. And so I was like, well, I guess we'll just do that direction. But I was also open to the idea of going south and hitting Texas first, and then Florida, etc.
I love Texas, man.
It's a cool place.
We didn't even stop in Texas, and I love Texas.
Yeah.
I drove through there at like 3 a.m. when we drove through, and just like the roads, everything is so nice. It's so clean.
It's
like,
very,
this is a nice place. No one's around because it's 3 a.m. I'm like, huh, this is all right. Plow through, and we went through Amarillo, I think.
Oh yeah.
Amarillo, Texas, like the northwest corner.
Yeah.
And then we stopped off for the sunrise in like New Mexico.
Nice.
Just like out of the mountains. That was really cool. Like on Route 66 or whatever down there. So it was amazing to be able to do that. But what did you find? Did you find a huge? Because you guys actually got to see like a long-term sort of exposure of the south and the north. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Between the states.
Yeah. So I'm really glad we picked that direction because heading through the north, we nipped into Canada a couple of times around above Montana, up into Calgary and Banff, and then back down through Glacier National Park, but then also again in Toronto. But yeah,
Excellent choices.
That, yeah.
Those are don't be stopping off in Saskatoon or Winnipeg or anything like that.
I don't even know how to get there.
Yeah, I don't even know how to get there. That's a risky choice. I hear a lot of people, they dip in, and to see like the States is just so easy to road trip.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I'm stopping in St. Louis. Oh, look at this. I'm stopping in and there's another huge city.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours away. You're like, whoa, I didn't realize everything. Like it seems close even though it's a huge place because all the cities are.
Everything's a hit. Skip on a jump and you're like, oh, another big metropolis.
No, I felt the same way because you can drive. Like if I leave my house and drive north for 8 hours, I'll make it to Thunder Bay, which is also in Ontario, the same province. If I leave my house and drive south, I can pass through like 5 states in 8 hours, man. And you don't really realize how close everything is until you do it. But jumping into Canada, a lot of people make the mistake of, oh, I'm just going to jump up and then drive across Saskatchewan.
A bit like Australia.
Like, oh God, no.
You could drive 10 hours north and you're still in the same state.
Yeah, it's tough to be able to commit to that. But you guys were smart about it, picked your cities in advance, or did you guys just figure these are the good ones? I'm guessing Banff is on everyone's radar. If you even go to North America.
No, we totally winged it. Steve had a friend in Calgary.
What?
And he was like, yeah, I want to go meet him. And I was like, well, fuck it, I've got nothing better to do. I'll come with him and see Calgary. I've not seen it. And so we both rode up there, stayed with his mate, and I think he just said, oh, because he had to go to work. He's like, oh, work during the day. You guys can see Calgary if you want. He's like, no, I'm seeing. He goes, well, go see Banff. It's like an hour away. I was like, okay.
Because you can see the mountains from Calgary, which is crazy. They're just on the horizon.
There, yeah.
It's like, oh, hello.
And we rode out to Banff, and I was just mind blown. I was like, oh my god. Also full of Australians.
Yeah, no, there's a ton of Australians over on the west coast, which is, I guess they identify with that sort of adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all a little bit more fun over there. I think I'm gonna have to move to Vancouver in the next few years, definitely. Just because it's, as you know,
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful spot with the mountains right there.
And I think I'd almost consider doing a little stint in Banff or something. Like, I'd love to do a Canadian working holiday.
Yeah, it's fun.
The time-lapse of the iPhone is actually, it's got an algorithm, so the longer you record it, the bigger the gaps. They do like 8-second chunks if you do time-lapse over a few
incredible.
hours.
Yeah.
But I like shorter ones, like you keep it under half an hour time-lapse.
Yeah.
It'll do it like 2 seconds and you get a much smoother looking time-lapse.
Yeah, unless you do, if you do a whole day, then it looks kind of crazy. Unless you're doing the sky, like long time lapses of the sky is really cool, because then you see a huge movement of all the clouds across or the sun,
sense,
which is neat.
8 seconds is nothing for a cloud, but if you're doing like traffic over a whole day, 8 seconds, like a car might be on screen for no time at all. Whereas if you do half an hour, you can actually watch that.
And then they just become a blur. If you do the day, then it's just, you don't even see the cars. Like a good probably half an hour is cool, because then you see like the traffic flow. You can see like a glimpse of the traffic flow, and you're like, oh, that's nice. Yeah. Anyway, it's tough to be able to get it properly. I guess you're getting some of that with the drone now, trying to see what you can film.
Time-lapse with a half an hour battery. I mean, I really want to try and work out long exposure with that thing.
Can you?
It's got heaps of options with the camera. I don't know.
That'd be interesting, because it'd move.
What do you mean?
Like, it's moving in the air.
No.
To get a long exposure.
You can hold that fucking stationary.
That steady.
Yeah.
I would like to see it. I don't believe it. I'm skeptical.
The GPS, it will hold its position very well. If there's a real strong wind, it'll be fighting with it. Yeah. It might push you around, but if you got.
Because when you do, like, even on this, like when me and Das were trying to get the stars out in.
Stars, you wouldn't be able to get with a drone, but if you're getting like a cityscape shot. The subtle movements left and right. Yeah, it might.
Again, they must do something to adjust for that too. Like in the algorithm to capture a long exposure, they must, like, there's going to be movement this way and this way depending on the wind, and so it'll probably. But they do some trick with the camera.
Centimeter left to right is not going to affect your city lights too much.
Yeah, true. I guess. Yeah.
I don't think you might get a subtle blur. You're not going to get the sharpest images.
It's all part of the visual effect.
Exactly.
The blur. A bit of the blur at least. So when you guys. So you were still moving on this clockwise sort of journey throughout the States.
Yes.
What was the... you guys did Calgary and then came back, so Missy wasn't with you at the time?
She wasn't allowed in Canada, actually. Honestly, she'd been to Canada before, had a Canadian boyfriend, and then got caught at the border leaving, and they thought she was working. I think she was actually working on a tourist visa, and they kicked her out of the country and said, you can't come back for 2 years. It had been 2 years, however, when we tried to go back into the border, they'd never recorded the date that she got kicked out for 2 years. So they're like, oh, we'll start it from today. So she's like, well, shit. now I can't go to Canada for 2 years, even though it'd been like 3 years ago.
Wow, that stinks, man.
So yeah, she was a bit dirty about that, but yeah, she literally, I think she waited for us in North Dakota with a bunch of truckers who, a great time with them.
The truckers are a good time.
And
generally nice people.
Yeah.
You stop at a truck stop and you expect to find all these like hillbilly guys, and they're all just, hey, how's it going? Exactly. They're just there to shower, grab some food, and hang out for a little bit with their pals. And they all know each other, which is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're all traveling around the U.S. How do you guys all know?
Break it.
Yeah, exactly. I guess they talk pretty often. So that works. But that was an issue for her, or was it not?
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal.
Okay.
She just didn't go up in Canada, so she stayed in the States. Yeah. And then eventually we came down and carried on our trip to Chicago, etc. But yeah, sorry, by doing it in that direction, that north was awesome, lovely weather, and by the time we got to Florida and Louisiana, they were hitting snow. So South Dakota, what's the town that holds Sturgis and capital of South Dakota?
How would I know? No idea.
Anyway, they had, by the time we were heading back into LA, they were getting 10 feet of snow.
Wow.
So if we'd done the other direction, we would have been trying to ride through snow.
Enjoy.
Which is not fun.
Good luck.
That's how you...
Somebody's dying.
That's how you
for sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Unless you put reverse push pins on your tires.
That would be tough. Yeah,
it's done.
That would need a lot of prepreration to be able to get ready for that, and a lot of money for you guys to be able to commit to it.
To get studded tires, nightmare.
Really?
And you can ride across ice lakes, basically, what do you call them? Dirt bikes with studded tires.
That'd be fun.
Be a good time. Terrifying to lean into on a corner of an ice lake. But yeah, if you've got studded tires, they'll just.
That's cool.
Stick into them.
Well, I'm glad you guys didn't have to use the old studded tires on the
Exactly.
Harleys. And you said you didn't even like your bike by the end.
By the end of it, no.
This bike is
it was mechanically it was great, but every time I got it serviced, I had so it was 2013 we're riding. Mine was a 2012 Heritage Softail, lovely bike, looked amazing, but it was, so when I bought it, it was like 8 months old. And every time I got it serviced, which is twice over there, I'd go, oh, this the wishbone at the back's falling off, the tail light's hanging off here, and I was like, just riding along the highway, it's like these bolts would just rattle out because they're just not in properly. And the guy at the service center's like, yeah man, no worries, I got a tray of Harley bolts and fucking put them all back in. I was like, wow, you're prepared for this shit.
Yeah, I guess that happens pretty often.
It happens, and so since owning the Suzuki back home, I've had that thing for 4 years and not an issue. It's just not an issue.
That's incredible.
The only shit that's giving me grief on that is stuff that I've modified myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I've changed the tower lights and they're starting to fall off, but honestly, everything else that is stock standard, the Japs, they know how to make a bike.
They do, they know how to make a lot of things.
Yeah.
Not Liam's car, evidently, but the thing is very old. I won't hold it against them.
Well, correct, it's not 30 years old. It's not, look how many other
Hopefully
cars
he's got
last
it by
30
now.
years.
He was going to go grab it today.
I think it's a good car. It should be fine.
It's fun, man. So much fun, but at the same time, how much you can't warrant spending any more money on this thing. He's already dropping dollar bills on it, and
That's
it's
what
really
happens with an old car. But the shit that he's putting money into is not huge. Like my Saab was playing it before. I wanted to put more money into that. That's thousands of dollars to fix a transmission, etc. And that's only 10 years old, 15 years old.
You don't really need the reverse gear.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, like you don't need to go backwards at any real time.
Exactly.
When I was pulling out of the pizza place last night, I just threw it in reverse and someone stopped and waited for me. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
while.
while.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah. I'm just drifting backwards and it's just not catching the gear, and so I just rolling down the hill.
And you learn to deal with that. I've now, instead of reversing to the bottom of the driveway and then waiting for traffic to pass, and then trying to pull out the traffic, which takes forever, and they're catching up to you. And you go,
do you stop in the middle of the hill?
Stop on the.
So you have to speed.
Exactly. So you can use the momentum to throw yourself out on the road.
Yeah.
It's working.
No, that's
parking. I'll try and, if it's a bit of an incline on the park, I'll just use gravity to reverse into it so I can drive out.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You gotta just
Someone will
adjust.
crash into me eventually.
Are you going to wait until you leave for Russia?
Absolutely.
Then before you buy a new one? Because you guys are leaving how many days after me? Like 4 days?
Less than a week, yeah.
That's crazy.
So I'll probably either sell the car for bugger all, or ideally someone crash into me, or...
Do you have insurance on it? Will they cover that?
It's fully insured.
You and Liam should crash into each other.
You're right.
Two Bristolets down.
That would be hilarious.
I was coming home and he pulled out of the driveway.
It
I
happens.
accidentally crashed into him and caused a lot of damage that looks like it was from a hammer, but it wasn't, I swear.
Yes, both cars have to be written off.
Yeah, whoops, sorry guys.
Yeah.
Pay us money, please. That's fair enough.
Nah. Or just keep driving in people's blind spots.
Yeah, what can you do? Can't really avoid that, and there's no speedo, so that makes it a little bit tough as well.
That's what GPS is for.
Yeah, I worked the other day when I drove it.
It's temperamental.
Where was I going? It went up to 60, and I'm like, am I going 60? And then I slowed down, and it dropped down a little bit, and then went back up. I'm like, whoa, it works! And then I turned it off and then started the car again. I'm like, oh no, it's gone.
Lucky.
Goodbye.
That's the ABS sensor thingy that slides in and
Doesn't work. Doesn't work all too well.
That's another $500 that's not getting fixed.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it's just a money hole eventually. Like you're gonna get a new, I'm guessing a newer car when you come back.
I will get another $1,000 piece of shit that hopefully lasts me 6 months.
Yeah, it's a better strategy, I'm guessing, than buying something new and forking out thousands.
Or rent, exactly, I could fork out.
Because Josh rents for like 160 a week, something like that.
Yeah.
And
so if he's been renting the same time since I bought the Saab, and if he had been, he's been renting that whole time, so he's spent $4,500 renting a car, whereas I put $1,000 on a car and maybe spend another $600 fixing it up.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm still ahead.
It seems like a better idea.
Even if it dies, I wouldn't, if I was going to be somewhere and needed a car for less than a month, I'd rent one.
That's a very reasonable price too, 160 a week.
Yeah.
For a car, at least I think so. Like I'm paying to live here for less than that, and then you grab a car and you're set. You have all your transportation needs met, And even though, like, I think the public transport here is good,
Yeah.
not everyone agrees. Doss certainly does not. He thinks you need a car to be able to get
absolutely
around.
helps. And you know, if you've got a car, you're spoiled, so you don't need to use the public transport.
Yeah,
but it is an option. Yeah, if you need it. You know, there are lots of places in the world that it's not even an option.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's nice to be able to have it. So getting back to you and the infamous Estive.
Oh yes.
Like, did he live there? Has he always lived there, and you always lived here, and you guys just didn't know?
Pretty much.
That you guys are so close.
Yeah, I've
That's
been here
crazy.
longer. I think he's only been there maybe like 6 years or something.
Yeah, because you straight down the same road as this house is on.
Yeah.
You get to Steve's house in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If you
On the
drive
same road.
at a reasonable speed.
Yeah.
But you guys just live on the same road and never encountered each other. I guess it's real hard to do that.
Why would you? Yeah,
But
it's a long road.
If you didn't know he was living there, and then
No.
now you guys see each other, I would say close to
Yeah.
every 2 days, if
And
not every day.
Funny thing is, Missy has bought a house in the middle of us.
Really?
Not on Warwick Road, but like literally down the road from us.
Why doesn't she hang out more often? She
I
doesn't
don't
like
know.
us or something?
I don't know.
What a
I mean, she's
meanie.
got her own life.
Yeah, that's fair enough. She seems like the kind of person who don't need no one else.
Yeah, she's
You're
very
just
independent.
On her
Which
own
is
thing,
cool.
doing whatever.
Yeah.
It's alright. See her once in a while, so that's nice enough.
But yeah, so during the America road trip, I used Couchsurfing a couple of times,
Mm.
and Steve never heard of it. So
Whoa.
in New York State, we stayed with this cool chick in the middle of, it was Binghamton. I don't know if you know where that is, in the middle of New York
I
State.
certainly do not. Yeah, I have no idea.
And she was also very happy to give back to the community and share her house, and she took us to some wicked, essentially like abandoned railway yards, which was just cool to like literally walk across the top of the trains.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of a creepy spot. If that was a dude and he took you to an abandoned railway yard,
yeah.
you would probably not. I would not go. I would opt to stay home.
Yeah.
I think on that trip. But if it's a
To be
young
fair,
lady,
she didn't say what it was. She's just like, "Oh, come check out my
see,
cool
that's
like
even
hangout
worse.
spot." Right? I know. But,
Enjoy. Is she from? Did she star in the movie Footloose?
She
The first one.
Yeah. I remember.
That's pretty weird. That's a
Right,
good
sense
spot.
of adventure. We're like, "Ooh, yeah, let's go see some abandoned things." You don't think that, hey, someone's
100%.
taking you to a...
You feel like a badass. I'm not sure why, but whenever you walk across, because at my cottage there's a train yard because there's like a fertilizer plant,
Mm.
so they literally run trains in just for the plant,
Yeah.
and so there's lines of trains that just won't be running around,
Yeah.
and like you get on top and you're running along the top of these trains. I don't know why it feels
It's-
so good.
yeah,
like
you feel
there's
like you're
platforms up
moving.
there, you're
I
fine,
know.
but it's really fun. I've done it with a few of my buddies who came up to the cottage and hung out, and we're just fooling around on the top of the trains,
Yeah.
and it's I don't know why it's so much like
It's
disproportionate fun
Yeah.
compared to just doing anything else.
So do that, knocked around on those, there's an abandoned bridge, we played around on that, and just dumb shit like that, but that was really fun, quite memorable.
Yeah.
And after that, Steve's like, oh, this Couchsurfing is kind of cool. We,
Mm-hmm.
I think we only did it like 3 or 4 times in the States in total, because it's very hard to organise last minute.
And people generally don't want to host you if you're like,
It's
hey,
not as big in America, I don't
swoop it in.
think. Yeah, and some people are only on it maybe once a week or once a fortnight, so
I
by the
think-
time they see your request,
yeah, it's
you've left the country.
it's
or left
probably
the town.
just as big, but people don't commit to it
I think so. Yeah.
as much. Like when I was in California, like I said, I think I talked to you about that. Me and my buddy Jake, and I sent out like 300 requests, man,
Yeah.
each like a personal message when we were staying in a hostel, trying to find somewhere that was just cheaper. Because like we have the money, but you really don't want to spend it on a
Yeah.
hostel for another night. Even though we stayed in a bomb hostel in Santa Monica, and it was like a hotel. It was incredible for like 35, 40 bucks a night. But still, you don't want to have to go through that. And everyone was just, nope, sorry, last minute. Or they're all, I'll only host you if we go out and we do things. This isn't just a free place to stay.
Yeah.
And I can understand, but at the end of the day, that's not very charitable, dude.
Exactly.
Like when I hope to have a place someday that I can let people stay.
Yeah.
And
there's no
like
obligation.
if you
to do
need me
anything.
to sleep on a couch, that's
Yeah.
why I'm there. Like cost for accommodation is the most expensive thing when you travel, other than getting
Absolutely.
there on the plane. And if I can cut you a cost so you can see another part of the world cheaper and be able to stay for longer,
It's like,
let's do it.
I've got my couch anyway. It's gonna be there.
Imagine if you didn't. Like, sorry, couch isn't in today. I don't have the
Yeah.
Someone can't host
borrowing
it.
it. Yeah, rent it out.
What do you mean? Some guy just takes it out every Tuesday. It's like that wouldn't be.
Uses it for a shoot.
That wouldn't be. That wouldn't be a good plan. I don't think. Couchrental.com.
Yeah. But,
should we start it? Do you think we can grab that URL?
I think it'll get used for nefarious purposes.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, yeah, moving on.
You at couchcleaning.com as well.
I should focus on good ideas. Maybe I come up with a few of those. If I try to pick couchrental.com, might not be the one for now. Anyway, yeah, so he didn't know about it.
Yeah, so yeah, he didn't know about the couchsurfing thing, and he loved the idea. And he was living with a friend of his off Xbox Live at the time, Dan or something, and it was just them two in the house. And I was living with my 3 housemates who were not as warm to the idea of couchsurfing, and I tried it twice, and both times they were like, oh, don't want strangers in the house. But then once they arrived, they were only here for 3 days, and like, oh, they're amazing, they were so cool, like, I was like, oh, awesome. So, all right, another one's coming next week. Oh no, we don't want strangers in the house. Like, but you just had a great time with the French couple over here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, too hard, can't please them. And then I essentially lived for another 8 months with those housemates because they were just here.
Yeah.
And Steve just sort of seemed to go full pelt into the couchsurfing and just opened his house right up, and at some point he had 12 people staying there.
What? In that house?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
The floor was just lined with people.
That's awesome.
And it was cool. It was a wicked lifestyle, and I was always around there for parties and whatnot because my house had relatively stable, boring people in it who didn't want to turn the house upside down.
Yeah, well, it's just a place to live. You're here for long enough, right?
It
just
was. Yeah, exactly.
That sounds exciting.
And eventually all those people moved out within the space of 2 or 3 months, and I was kind of like, whoa, shit, I need to find more people to help, live here because
make this work.
It gets expensive.
Yeah.
And some of the couch surfers were like, oh, I like it here, I want to stay. And I was like, you could take the place of one of my roommates, I guess. And they're like, yeah, that'd be cool. I'm here for like 6 months. And then
I thought about it probably last week or the week before when I was thinking of coming up with just ideas to talk to you about. Not knowing when someone's gonna leave or like how long they'll stay. That's tough, man. Like you must have to think about that like 4 or 5 steps ahead to be able to like, do I have another person lined up for when this person takes off? Is there going to be someone else who comes in? Or is it pretty easy to find, like if you just tap into the Ultimate Frisbee Couchsurfing, is it easy to find somebody to fill the space?
There's enough avenues. If I've got 2 weeks, I can generally find someone 90% of the time.
Cool.
In a 2-week gap, whether it's through Travelers or a Facebook group or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst thing is, when someone's like, cool, I'm actually leaving tomorrow. I was like, oh man, I had no idea you were even going. Fuck. Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, that's
what I always say. It's like, I don't care when you leave. You're not going to upset me by saying, oh, I have to go on this day. As much notice as you can is the best.
Yeah.
So, if you, for instance, you're like, I'm going on this day. Sweet.
It's easiest, that way everyone knows.
It's got their own life to carry on and travel.
Yeah, and it makes it much easier for you to be like, hey, I have a room
this
day.
This. Yeah, exactly.
And you're good to go.
So I've had a couple of people drop the ball on me and just leave with a couple of days notice, and I was like, oh shit, it happens, but like obviously we're planning this at some point. You must have known for a week before you bought a flight.
I got surprised.
I just wish you told me.
I did not know. Yeah, no, that's pretty. It makes a lot of sense that way. So did Steve start doing the same? Yeah, like how's his housemate situation been? Has Dave always lived there as well?
No, not at all. He's also been through many housemates. He doesn't run it as rigidly as me, and I guess that cost him a bit more. I think he's got a bit easier too down there with his parents, his rent situation. But he's often if I have a bit of an overflow here and someone comes back to me, I'll flick him to Steve, and like so Johnny obviously was looking to live with Liam at some point, I guess, but we're full, so lives with Steve. So excited for that.
They could have shared the couple room. That would have been appropriate.
Yeah, exactly.
But alas, didn't work out that way.
And Steve and Dave are good mates, and Dave wanted to move out of his place that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also been to a few housemates.
That's pretty crazy. When you look at that house, all I see for like standard people is just Steve and Dave. I'm guessing they're both going to be living there for a while to come. Like this is a good spot for them.
I guess so. Yeah.
Because Dave has been doing the Frisbee downtown forever. Like he's been Perth local his whole life, I would assume as well.
No, Dave's not.
Where's he from? Russia. Is he a commie?
No.
Suspicious.
I think he's not from Perth. Wow, I should know this.
Me too. We should ask him.
But he's done like 2 years in Canada.
He did spend a long time there, yeah.
His girlfriend's German.
He's going to Germany very soon. Next Saturday, I believe, he's taking off. Flying over there for a while.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't know where he's originally from.
He just has that the air of someone who knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Like whenever you talk to him, and you're like, "Oh, are you in charge?" He's like, "No." Like,
no.
what?
Yeah.
All right, who is?
Dave's great. Dave's very logical and stable and
easy.
Very
easy to get along with.
Super easy going. Yeah.
That's alright.
So also Steve, Dave, and Johnny. Is anyone else there?
I don't think so, actually. Steve, Dave, Johnny.
And some couch surfers.
Yeah, a whole heap of couch surfers over there right now, which is
really,
I guess, good. It's nice to. Well, there's 2, aren't there?
Sophie and someone else.
And then one of the Dutch girls, she stayed for like a night. He goes through fast.
Yeah, he gets some people in just for a night or 2.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Which is fun. I mean,
definitely.
he gets more requests than me. I think he must be higher up in the chart or something.
That's weird. That's how does the algorithm work? Do you know how Couchsurfing works? I would guess you'd have more of an idea than me, because like.
I think me and Steve have worked out that if you are getting requests, then you'll get more requests, or you've got the list. So every now and then we'd send each other a request to stay at our houses.
Oh, just to move up a little bit.
And that seems to.
Does Steve ever decline you?
No, we just accept. And then
no, busy. You're like, what, man? Like,
man, you can't stay in my house.
Sorry, I'm busy this weekend. It's like, no, just accept it anyway. We don't need to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I have to wash my goldfish. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. That's a pretty good reason. Wash my cat, wash my goldfish, organize my sock drawer. The usual stuff. The usual suspects, at least. That's all right. I forget what else I was going to talk to you about. Generally, I was so curious. Like, I'm glad now I know how that, like, the whole situation works out for you. Just like, how much longer do you plan on doing this? Is this going to be a lifestyle for forevermore, so to speak, or is it? Because like, I don't know if I could take losing people like this.
It's
dropping like flies, so to speak.
Yeah, it gets hard.
But talking with Liam and Steve yesterday, I was telling them like the only hard thing to leave about this place would be all you guys. Is like leaving, like my roommates, like my friends now would be leaving all this and the weather, of course. But like, that's obviously that's a deep second. But they were telling me that that's the same thing for Steve. He said, it comes and goes, and you get used to it, so to speak.
It is hard to get used to, but you just cherish the times when it's like, I've got a wicked group in this house, and this is really cool. And some people might stay, but at the end of the day, shit gets in the way. And like, money issues become people's problems. Visa issues are always a nightmare, it's hard. You spend enough time apart from someone, and then your worlds just go in different directions.
Yeah.
I've seen with Josh and a multitude of people.
Yeah.
It's just too hard to, especially relationship-wise, maintain something when there's just different directions in life.
Yeah. How do you? Because you're planning a bunch of big trips soon. Is Vietnam still on the table for you?
Less so now. I think June is pretty open for me. I've got a couple of loose ideas of what I want to do.
Yeah.
Maybe either go to Queensland, maybe go Bali not Bali, but Indonesia, and smash out some more diving. So I'm better skilled for August. So I'm do the dive master then.
Oh, very cool.
But Russia and all.
How long are you and Dos going to Russia with the brother?
We have 4 weeks roughly, but depending on how much fun we're having.
Just Russia?
No. This is Russia, Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Iran. But this is all hanging on the Russian visa. So we have a flight into St. Petersburg, but if for whatever reason we don't get the Russian visa, the layovers take us through Iran and Azerbaijan. We'll just not use that last leg and just get out in Azerbaijan. Yeah.
No, that's makes a lot of sense, I guess. So after, like, how do you work for planning trips? Like, how long in advance do you end up planning them when it comes to, because when you leave the house, I'm guessing either Liam or Josh will take care of it, because they're pretty good pals. But like, you'll be gone for a month, 2 months. Maybe.
Yeah, well, ideally, Liam seems to be pretty stable with the house, so Josh will also be gone in end of July.
Where's he headed? Back home?
Going to see his mum in Indonesia. Well, his study visa ends out in July.
Oh, true. So he needs to redo.
He might come back and do another one.
Yeah.
And earn money. His job's pretty easy to smash out and make good coin.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wants to go do some more traveling, which is fine.
That makes sense. Do you see what's your 5-year plan, Matt? Like 5 years down the line, what do you see this moving into, or do you just play it by ear because that's how it's worked out so far, so to speak?
Literally playing it by ear. I mean, if you told me 5 years ago, hey, you're gonna run a house with Couchsurfers, it's gonna be like a mini hostel, I'd be like, what?
That's a bad idea.
Why would I do that? That's ridiculous. But yeah, anything can happen in a year.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to try and do a working holiday visa before I'm 30,
yeah.
because it's sort of the cut-off point for a lot of countries.
Yeah.
And yeah, the only reason is that door will close in a year. So
yeah, it's tough. It's weird that they limit. Like, sorry, you're over 30. You should get out of here. It's so strange. Like 30 that's a weird age. You would think 40.
Well,
and it gets a little bit.
Australia's the only one that does sort of 30. Pretty much every other country allows 35.
Okay, yeah, that's alright.
Because Australia only allows 30, all those other countries are like, fine, we'll only let Australians come on.
Because have you ever lived in another country?
No, I mean,
because I was asking Steve that, because I was like, has Matt ever done what everyone comes to his house to do? This is so strange to me.
Yeah,
like Steve said that he's lived, I forget what he said, but he's done it for a little bit. Lived in another place. But no, exactly. I can't remember. But he said he's had a little bit of experience. But again, like you guys are hosting people who you've never had the opportunity or just need or want to do what it is that me, Liam, and Josh are doing.
Perth. I mean, I love the summers here. I love the spring here. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching all the fruit trees and having the mulberry tree at the back. Just literally go out there and just shake the tree with a pan underneath, and then you walk inside and cook a mulberry pie every 2 days. It's amazing.
I missed out.
Yeah, spring is cool, man.
Damn it. That's alright.
So yeah, I love coming back here for the beaches and the weather.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you know, people are going to be people wherever you go in the world. You're going to meet amazing people.
Yeah.
But big places where you got wicked weather,
mm-hmm.
and I hate the cold. So this is why I'm trying to skip out. Even Perth gets a bit too cold for me in the June, July.
You're too much. Get out of here.
So this is why I want to go and sneak off somewhere warmer. Ideally.
Like Russia.
Hey, Russian summer, yeah.
It's supposed to be a little bit warm when you guys get there, at least.
The weather. Resting, yeah.
Cool,
they hit 30 degrees.
It's good to hear. Yeah, they're kind of like us a little bit.
A little
it's
bit,
like
yeah.
a really low and then a really
exactly personally
shit high. Yeah.
Yeah, it was hot in Canada some days.
Yeah, no, we don't mess around. The humidity is what'll get you. At least down in southern Ontario, negative 25 in the winter. Oh, enjoy plus 35, 100% humidity in the summer.
Crazy.
With bugs.
Yeah.
Woo! No, please.
What do these bugs do in the winter?
Yeah, have mercy. They hang out. They make do at least. Yeah. I just wanted to ask you, because you're in, like, any tips for couchsurfers to be able to sort of improve your experience? Like any etiquette that you would recommend, or just because I would consider you an expert. Expert guest.
In what way for couchsurfers?
How do I improve like my own experience and like reciprocation between like a couchsurfer or just a renter and sort of a host? Like, how do I make that as easy for both parties as possible before I get there? Like, what are some things people can do to improve their own chances of getting into a house?
Getting into a house at personal requests is absolutely gold.
Mm-hmm.
If you can pick a couple of things out of someone's profile and reference them,
mm-hmm.
always like, cool. Or if there's something in your request that you want to see that I actually might be able to help you out with,
mm-hmm.
that always looks good. Also, offering to cook food is hands down amazing.
We are fans of the homemade meal.
I love food from everywhere around the world. So if you're coming from a country where I haven't been and you're like, hey, let me cook something from our local dish,
mm-hmm.
man.
Well, and we're done.
Yeah, so I think if you are sending a request, 2 or 3 days notice, sometimes that's hard with some people's travel plans, but 2 or 3 days you should have a rough idea where you can.
If anything, you're going to be on a plane for at least one of those days.
Right.
So you should be able to sort of reach out before you even get on the plane.
Exactly, and you shouldn't be buying plane tickets, sort of any shorter than 2 or 3 days, otherwise you start
really wasting money. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah. I'm there's no real obligations for couch surfers at this house. Some people have obligations as far as like you need to participate with them.
Just be aware of those if you do request. Then
you get a feel for that when you're staying somewhere.
Yeah.
Some of the older couples and stuff, or older people who are hosting, they want more of an interaction with their guests.
Mm-hmm.
I'm open for either way. If I'm doing something, I will invite you. If you've got an idea of like, hey, I'm going to go to this winery or whatever, let me know, and I'm like, hey, actually that sounds cool. I'm going to drive out there and I'll come with you, because like I've actually learned so much more in Perth in the last 3 years than I have the whole time living here,
mm-hmm.
because of Couchsurfers coming here and saying I'm going to go see this and I'm going to go see that, and I was like, I've never heard of that. I want to come too, because even just on Monday, the Singaporeans, they're coming. They said, oh, we want to go to this. They named this place, and I was like, is that a town? Where is that? And they're like, no, it's a koala sanctuary. And I was like, where? And they're like, in Perth. And I was like, I googled it, and I was like, holy shit, there is one.
What do you know?
I'll come with you, because I've never seen that. I didn't even know they existed. So
it's a good move.
I'm learning a lot about my own hometown simply through
tourism, right?
Tourism, yeah.
That's pretty neat. Tourism's for the win.
Exactly.
Cool. Any closing thoughts? Final words?
It's good fun. I'll keep doing it until something changes. Life throws all sorts of shit at you, so. No,
exactly, man. Until you get like another opportunity to maybe go somewhere and do.
Exactly.
Be me or Liam.
Exactly.
That sort of thing, right?
And in the meantime, I'll just keep working little jobs to make money. I'd love to end up moving into the renewable energy field.
Mm-hmm.
That's an up and coming thing. I feel like Australia is a little bit stifled with that, but
mm-hmm.
working in another country is also pretty hard. So.
Very cool. Either way, man. Thank you. Thanks for doing this.
No worries.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the insight, the info, all that sort of stuff. Learning about like what I just didn't know. So I'm curious. Maybe someone else is curious out there, and we'll find out.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. Let's do whatever we do with the rest of the day here.
Let's
get it on the road.
Another Humans Wander podcast has come to an end. I certainly enjoyed listening to this experience. I hope you did as well. And if you're interested in anything else to do with Humans Wander, then check out my website, check out my Facebook page. On the website, we have many other tools and advice from all of these guests on how to really take advantage of each trip, each spot. Like every location you go to is filled with just new experiences, and sometimes you might miss them. So on the website, I have lots of tools to really make sure you're getting the most out of your trip, out of your destination, the most for your money. I know that's important to myself and a lot of young people out there trying to travel on a limited budget. And these tools, sort of new apps, all the new technology out there these days, it can really help you. I would definitely get curious about it if you don't know what I'm talking about. Places like Airbnb, Couchsurfing, check out all those, because they're in the business of helping people make new connections, meet new people, amazing people around the world who are interested in exactly what you're interested in. If you're listening to this, chances are you like to wander, you have the wanderlust bug. So do I, so do all of us who have been part of this podcast so far. So please, enjoy your day, and thank you for listening.